Happy Wednesday. Good afternoon. I hope you're having a great day. This is the second time I've been on today. We finished our Santa earlier. He turned out so stinking cute. And right now we're about to experiment a little bit. We're going to just kind of play. We are going to use these ornaments. They are available as a 3-pack on the website, and there's 15% off today, along with all the other ornaments that we have. And we're going to create, there's 3 trees. We're going to create 3 different looks. Okay. We're not going to make them match. We're going to do 3 different styles. Here's the thing. When I, found these and started trying to decide what I was going to make with them, I had a hard time trying to figure out what to do with these because I think that there's a lot of things that you could do, and I wanted to try and come up with some different stuff for y'all. So one of them I think is going to be a little bit different. The others are going to be a little predictable, but I think you could do lots of fun, cute things with these ornaments. So I'm going to give you 3 different styles today. One of them is going to be using epoxy resin, okay, which I've never, ever used. Never. All right. So some of you all are probably very familiar with it. I've never used it. All right. So this will be the first time. So we're going to play with it, see what happens. This could be great. It could be not so great. So who knows? So that's the plan. So again, 15% off on all ornaments today. So that includes this set. It's a set of 3, and they are $6.99 regular price for the set. And we have several different other types of ornaments. We have these little guys here that are the little gold frames. And I just used some of the craft paper. Both sets of craft paper this month have the 2.5 by 2.5 inch designs that you can use inside these little ornament frames. So these are really fun. Those are on sale today. The little North Pole sign ornament is also 15% off today. The Santa ornament is 15% off, I believe, as well. This is how we did him. So, and then there's other things as well that I don't even have over here that are 15% off. So, I need to I'm just going to set those there and put those back later. All right. So when you hop on and say hello, let me know you're watching. Let's see who we've got joining. Hi, Lori. Hello, Teresa. 103 in Jersey. Wow. Hey, Dale. It's only 91 here. Hey, Susan. Good afternoon. Dale says she uses resin all the time. She loves it. Hi, Susan. Thank you. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Carol. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Rhonda. I'm glad to see all of y'all today. Thanks for joining me. All right. So I think I'm going to do the medium one in the resin, and I'm going to do the resin last because once I'm done, I want to just be able to leave it be and let it cure. So I'm going to set this one aside and the largest one. Okay. And to be perfectly honest, I don't 100% know what I'm going to do with these 2. But I think that I'm going to start with the biggest one. And I think I'm going to paint it in Williamsburg blue. Okay. We used this blue on this snowman the other day. And it's a really beautiful blue. So I think I'm going to start with that. We're going to do Williamsburg blue on the inside of this little Christmas tree. Now these trees have like this little raised edge around it. So you could paint the whole thing the same color if you wanted to. I think I'm going to paint the edge a different color. So I'm just going to put some paint right inside. I'm not going to worry too much about it right now because I want to make sure that I get the inside edge painted. And we're going to come back and then we'll paint that top edge. We're going to go for, I think I'm going to do kind of a vintagey, little vintagey, but not so much. I think we're going to do red velvet ribbon, brass bells. This wood soaks up a lot of paint. You like UV resin? See, I don't even know anything about it, honestly. This is literally the first time I've ever used it. So I figured I had a lot of pros watching. So no judgment here, okay? Okay. So let me dry this. I think that one coat is probably going to be enough. And then we'll paint this top section as well in a different color. I think I actually might do a lighter color of blue. So let's do winter blue. I think that might be pretty. And I'm going to use a pouncer to do this with. Because then I can control the paint a little bit better and make sure that it looks really nice. That's actually not 100% true, Lori. I wouldn't say I'm afraid to try new things, but I tend not to try new things, if that makes sense. I'm a creature of habit around here. All right. So I'm just taking the pouncer and just getting this raised area. I'm just trying to be very careful around the edge because I don't want any of this lighter blue on the inside. Now, I'm not sure. Maybe a paintbrush would be easier. I don't know. Hi, Susan. Good afternoon. But this is what it's looking like. Thanks for celebrating, Christy. Okay, and then once we get that, we can take our pouncer and just do the edges. And I'll have to come back with a paintbrush to get some of this that I can't get with the pouncer. I can't get it into all of the little corners. Me too, Christy. That's what I'm thinking about doing for Christmas. I'm thinking about going with blues and red and green. But, you know, I'm not really 100% sure yet how it's going to all come together. All right, let me get a paintbrush. They are, Susan. They are 15% off today, along with all of our Christmas ornaments. So any of the ornaments that we have in our shop, they are all 15% off today. Okay. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna dry this. All right, this is looking pretty. I mean, and you could literally stop there if you wanted to, but why would we? So we're not going to. We're going to keep going. I'm going to grab a sander. There's been a 10-year-old boy in my craft room today building not bottle rockets, rockets. Making messes. All right, I think I'm going to distress this. So I don't really know. I'm just going to get in here. I want to just kind of distress up and down. I want to show some of the wood. Just give it a little bit of texture. And then, of course, I want to also distress the edges. Okay. Now, let me grab my brush and just kind of clean this up a little bit. Okay, so we have that, which I like a lot, but you know, we might as well keep going. So let's go with some raw umber, because why the heck not? All right, so I'm going to use a brush because I want to get the raw umber into the edges here. And I might not have enough. Thank you, Christy. All right, so let's just make sure to get this all in those crevices. And then I'm going to take my baby wipes and just start to wipe off and remove. I'm going to remove quite a bit. I do want to leave some in those crevices, like I said, but I still want it to look blue. And I just sort of want the wood parts to be stained a little bit darker, the parts that were sanded down. Like that. And then thank you, Teresa. That fly. They are, I don't 100% know. I need to call Mom, but Mom went to the doctor yesterday. And so we've got to wait for a test to come back. So we don't know about that. And then Dad, I think, is going to the doctor tomorrow. All right, so I'm just going to make sure to do the edges as well. Just so that it's all nice and cohesive. Thank you, Teresa. Okay. So that looks really good. That's beautiful. You could leave it just like that and not do anything else if you wanted. But let's embellish it because that's fun. And like I said, I think I'm going to do brass bells and a gold or a velvet bow. That's what I'm thinking. So these bells right here, these are like these little vintage Christmas ornaments. They're super duper cute. I'm actually going to remove the bow from them. Even though it's really cute. I'm going to remove it because I'm going to use this other velvet bow, and so 2 bows would be too much. I got to try and get this hot glue off. Okay, there's one. Okay. All right, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to take these and I'm going to hang them kind of like we did on our Santa, offset from each other. And then I'm going to tie them together. Okay, so we've got that. And then I'm going to hang this right up at the top, and then I think I'm going to put the bow right on top of that. So let me just take my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to add a little dot of hot glue. Right at the top. And then I'm going to add this bow. This is like a little pre-made velvet bow. I'm going to add it right to the top. Okay, I need to remove the excess string, and then I don't like the jute, so we're gonna get rid of the jute. So let me see what I can find. Look how cute that is. So I think I've got some gold cording, and I think it's gonna work better. So let's see how this looks. Okay, so there's our first ornament. Kept it pretty simple. Just sort of decorated it with a fun paint job. I think that's really pretty. It's a pretty little ornament. Okay, so, and of course you can paint the back too, if you want to. All right, let's do this small one now. And I think I want to go a little more rustic with this one. Let's paint it Santa red. I'm going to paint the inside Santa red. Oh, I bet that was fun, Christy. I have heard that blue was going to be very in this year. You know what drives me nuts, though, is like I'm ready to start planning it now, and you really can't find a whole lot of Christmas stuff right now. Especially not like anything new, which is really annoying because it's hard to know, you know, what's going to be available. You know, what's Hobby Lobby going to have this year? And I know that they're starting to get it out, but if you look online, you still can't really find much. All right, so we're going to paint the inside of this one red. You just want to make sure you get that little edge painted as well. Okay. It would be pretty, Linda. Okay, I think I'm going to do a second coat. Probably way too much paint. Okay. Definitely got too much paint this time. All right. I think that should do. Now, for the outside, I think I'm going to do rust. Actually, don't know how that's going to turn out, but that's what I'm thinking. So let's start with milk chocolate, and that's what we'll use to paint it with. Okay, so let's get in here and get the edge of this painted. And again, I'm just using the pouncer. Oh, really, Dana? Blue is probably my favorite color to wear. I wear a lot of blue. I don't know if y'all have noticed that, but I do like to wear blue a lot. I have a lot of blue in my closet. I like to wear blue a lot. I have always liked blue. I mean, as far as decorating, you know, when my very first couch I ever had, it was blue, and I loved it, and I decorated with blue. My first, you know, comforter when Andrew and I got married, it was blue. Kind of like, you know, a mixture between these blues. But obviously my style's changed through the years. But I have always liked the blue. All right, let's get the edge painted. All right. I'm going to go ahead and remove this jute hanger because it's annoying me. And I'm gonna paint this little metal hanger as well. For my wedding, I did like a light pale peachy champagne color, rosé kind of, for like all three, and gold and ivory. All right. Okay, so I've got that. So now what I'm gonna do, we're gonna use some cinnamon. So I'm gonna take a paper towel and I'm gonna use a little bit of decoupage glue. All right, and let's add some glue to the edges here of this little tree. And I don't really care if I cover this perfectly with glue. I don't really care if it's perfectly covered with cinnamon. What I want is just sort of a hint of it, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. All right, there we go. Looks like Mom's on. Okay, let me grab some cinnamon. I'm just going to sprinkle this all over. Okay. Just gonna tap off the excess. Let's dump this cinnamon back into our bottle. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna take this over here and dry this down. Okay. So then we need to go back over this with more decoupage glue. And again, I'm not really concerned with whether or not it's perfect, because that's going to mean some parts are a little bit darker than others. Some parts are going to look, and that's just going to, I think, make it look a little bit more authentic. Yes, I did, Nancy, this morning or this afternoon. It was at like noon. Here he is right here behind me. So yes, I did get him finished today. All right, We're going to add some raw umber to this, of course. Would I be me if I didn't? Probably not. Okay. So where is the raw umber? Right here. Almost out. All right, I'm gonna take this on my brush. I'm gonna just remove a little bit, and then I'm just gonna kind of dry brush a little of this on. I'm just getting around the edges. And then I also want to do this red part, and I just want to do a little bit of dry brushing in that part. Okay. So this is what it looks like. There's still a little bit that's white from the decoupage glue. So I have got a rusty star over here that I think I'm going to use for the top. That's really cute. Got to decide if I want to do anything else or just the star. I think this star is going to be too big, although I do really like it. Let me see. I think I might have some 3D stars. Let me see if I've got some of those. Maybe not. Oh wait, there they are. I knew I had some somewhere. Okay. So here's the little 3D stars. These are available on our website as well. I think that's going to be perfect on the top. So these are hard to glue. You got to put quite a bit of glue in there so that they can touch the surface. And then we just got to put a hanger on. And in this case, I'm going to use some rusty wire because why not? We've done rust everywhere else. So let me get the rusty wire out. Did I put it in with the rusty stuff or, well, good grief. There it is. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's just take a piece of wire. This is now available at celebrationcompany.com. So you can get it in our shop as well as the thicker wire. Uh-oh. I already got to glue my star. Okay, so there we have it. there's our rustic ornament. So you got two different styles so far. Both are super cute. Now let's try the resin. Let me clean up and we're going to try the resin. All right. Okie doke. So we're going to paint it first. And I'm going to paint it white on the inside, I think. So let me grab some white. Hey, Jenny. Thank you, Ellen. So we're just going to paint the inside white. Probably need to do 2 coats. And I want to make sure that I get these inside edges as well. So don't worry too much about getting it on the top when you're painting this inside. Because it's kind of inevitable. And once you paint those top edges though, those are really easy to paint and it covers whatever you've put on the inside pretty well. All right, so first coat. Hey Barbara, thank you. I'm glad you're here. Y'all ready to play with some resin? I'm a little nervous about it. But I think that these are the perfect item to use resin for because of the way that they're made, because they have a little inset. These are wood, Megan. So I do want this to be nice and covered on the inside. We may have to do 3 coats. Okay. All right, let's go one more coat, I think. Just to make sure it's really nice and covered. Barbara, listen, I don't blame you. I have never used it before. This is a first for me. So, you know, I'll be your guinea pig and let you know if it's easy or not. Because, yeah, I've never tried this before. All right. So 3 coats of white on the inside. Looks good. All right, and then we're going to do red on the outside edges. We're going traditional here, whimsical Christmas with this. So we're going to use the Santa red for the outside. All right. So I'm just going to be very gentle with this because this is really going to show if I get it in the white. This is one of those situations, there's not very many, where you do want a little more paint on your pouncer when you're going in to paint these edges. You don't want it to be super wiped off. I'm not trying to I don't want it gloopy on there, but I do want it full, if that makes sense. So that when I press down, it's depositing enough paint to cover. Okay. All right. I'm going to go on and dry this. I'm going to paint the edge as well. See if we need to do a second coat. I think we do need a second coat. All right. Okay, let me dry this, and then we'll paint those edges. And I think I'm going to take this jute hanger off. Okay. So it looks like I'm not the only one who's not dived into resin yet. Sounds like a lot of you are interested, but haven't yet wanted to try it or even scared to try it. So we're gonna figure it out together today. All right, looks like I'm gonna need a paintbrush. Nope, I was able to get that side. Let's see if I can get this side. All right, there we go. Well, we'll see. I read the instructions. That's about all I did. So, you know, who knows how it's going to turn out. All right. Let's go ahead and remove the hanger. And let's add a different hanger. I'm going to do some white and red gingham. Christy says, I've been doing some resin for a while and there's a learning curve with it and safety precautions that you should take. UV resin is a great starting place. Well, I don't know what kind of resin this is, y'all. Non-toxic and no odor. That's all I know. That's all I know. Yeah, it's equal parts. And the directions said stir it for 3 minutes. Is what the directions said. On these bottles. Okay, so we put our little plaid hanger on there. We'll also do a plaid bow, but we can't do that yet. But we will probably add a bow on here as well. Onto the top of the tree. Okay, like this. Looks like I can do it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's not touching the white part, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. So we can get the full effect. Okay, so we could stop there. We're not going to, though. All right, let's move on to the resin. Are y'all ready? I feel like I want to put it on something. I'm trying to figure out what that's going to be so that I can... I don't know if that's important or not, but here we go. I have this little Lazy Susan. We'll put it on the Lazy Susan. Why do I craft with that? Okay. So here we go. What I have to decide is we're going to be using candy canes. And then I've got all of these fun things. Okay. So I'm just trying to decide. I think that I'm going to pour the resin in and then put these pieces in on top of the resin. I'm not expecting the resin to cover these pieces. That's kind of what I'm wondering is it better to put the pieces in and then pour the resin over top? Let's try it that way. That is the first time I have had somebody from Facebook in a while. Did I get them? Okay. Okay. So let's put our pieces on. Tracy, so you can get all this stuff from Amazon. It's a mixture of things. It's left over from, I think from a DIY decor box. So the little candy canes you can get off of Amazon. I've got like these little buttons that have a little candy on them. So I'm just going to put a couple of those on here. Maybe move that. Just kind of figure out how we want everything. And then, is there anything else big that I want to add? I have these little snowflakes, but I don't think I want to put one of those. I might do another one of these candies. That looks right. Don't y'all think? Then we could do the rest of this, which is just sort of a mixture of stuff. And let's just kind of sprinkle it about. Hello. Hi. Put glue down to keep them in place. Oh gosh. Well, I probably should have done that before I started sprinkling everything in here.
Where is Mama?
What? It's right there.
That's not all of it. Where's the big one?
It's right here.
Oh. What you making, Mom?
An ornament.
Oh, that's cool. Are you gonna use it on the Christmas tree this year?
No, because I'm not doing this theme this year.
Oh, okay.
Should have done resin first, put a dab of glue. All right. All right, well, let's redo. I was thinking I wanted them because I know the resin, I know that they're not going to, some of them are going to be raised above the resin. And so I kind of want the resin to be over top, but kind of falling down. Does that make sense? That's kind of what I'm thinking. All right, well, let's try this again. Let's put these in here. Let's see. What we can figure out here. Okay. Let's try super glue instead. Just add a little bit. of super glue onto the back. Hi, sweetie. Yeah. Ah. All right, y'all are confusing me. Everybody's got something different. We're just gonna have to go with it and see what happens, because I'm already here. But I am gonna put all the pieces in and then pour the small pieces and pour the resin over top of that. Okay. All right, so there's the big pieces. So now let's sprinkle the little pieces around. And this has like little tiny peppermints, and it's got like little faux snow and little jewels and little sprinkles, all kinds of different things. Griffin. Hey, I was gonna say bring me one of those, but don't bring me one of those. Bring me one of those sodas out of that there fridge. Okay. All right, I'm gonna take some what are these things called? Tweezers. I almost said squeezers. Squeezers. All right, I'm gonna take some squeezers. That works. Almost better, don't you think? And I'm gonna move around. Sorry, Andrew's making noise.
Sorry, not sorry.
And put these pieces right where I want them. They might shift when I pour the resin in. I don't know. Like I said, I've never done this before, so. I just am trying to make sure that the pieces are sort of laying flat and evenly distributed. Don't like that piece. Holly, so first of all, you need to make sure that your post is set to public, okay? And then when you are typing in your description, type in at the celebration, the little at sign, the celebration CO, and give it a second, and our name will pop up, our business page, and you just click on our business page, and that'll tag us in your post. Thank you. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know what kind of resin I got. It's just some kind of resin. Yeah. Let's put a little more green in here. If this works, this is going to be really pretty. All right. I think I need a little green around in here. Oh, see, I don't have a UV light. So hopefully this is not UV. I don't think it is. Doesn't say anything about needing a UV light, so I think we're safe. All right. Oh, here's a little bitty tiny gingerbread man. Let's put him in there. Okay. I feel like I could just mess with this for forever. But at some point, you got to just call it quits, right? So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So here's where we're at. Okay. So let's work on our resin. I've got 2 cups here. I don't know if this is the right way to do this or not, but it says equal parts. So I thought the easiest way for me to figure out the equal parts is to just pour equal into the cups and then dump one into the other. So this is the resin, epoxy resin. Night is the brand. I got it from Amazon. It says fast curing, high hardness, crystal clear, no bubbles, resists yellowing.
Bubbles. It's my stage name.
So let's give this a go. Like I said, we're trying new things today. Yes, Dale. I think somebody's watching from the team that can post that link. Okay. I don't really know how much I need, so I'm going to do more than what I probably need. Maybe go like half of this cup. I've just got 2 little disposable shot glasses. All right, and let's do the second one. Okay. All right. I hope I didn't do too much. Now I'm kind of wondering, let's dump into a bigger cup. Okay, there's one. And 2. All right, y'all. 3 minutes is what the directions say. So let's set the timer for 3 minutes. and it says to stir slowly. I don't know if I'm stirring slowly or not. Feels like I am. It's a good idea, Dana. Honestly, I never really thought that it would take this long to combine. But they do sort of take a while to combine because you can see them mixing. Y'all think this is going to work? Scrape the sides of the cup very well. What are you doing, babe?
Putting the towel down so I don't get your cushions dirty here. Sitting there. So you get grass on your wet cushions.
Well, thank you. It'll work, Dale says. It'll work. I will say it doesn't have a lot of odor to it, so that's good. This was very inexpensive on Amazon. It looks like it's combined. But we have a minute left. So just keep stirring, just keep stirring. Y'all like that movie? I actually do not like that movie. It annoys me. I don't love any kind of movie that has one goal and it takes the entire movie to achieve that goal, and that you keep thinking they're there and they're not there. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know, stuff like that gets on my nerves. Okay, let me scrape the sides. Yes, I did know that, Dale, so I'm planning on, I got my heat tool over here. Okay, let's do it. Y'all ready? I'm excited. Okay, here we go. So let's pour. See how this does. You ready? All right, can y'all see? Okay. Here we go. So we're just going to start pouring this on. I just want to make sure that I don't get it too thick because I don't want it to come over the sides. But I am trying to go over the thicker pieces first. So that those are covered in the resin. Trying to be very gentle, not to overfill it. Kind of like frosting a cookie. Okay, this little candy here didn't get enough. A couple of the candies, or a couple of the pieces, look like they're sort of floating a little bit. I need just a little bit more. If it drips on my glass, will I be able to get it up? Oh, really, Christy? I haven't heard of that. All right. A little bit more. Okay. So a couple of pieces I'm going to take and press into the resin because they're sort of floating on the top. Some of these little sprinkle pieces I can kind of move around a little bit. I think it's gonna be cute if it sets well. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. So that's what it looks like. I'm gonna just be very careful to show you. So there it is. That's the finished product. Think it turned out cute. Let's see. Dana told me to get some silicone. I'm just trying to remember where I put them. Right here. I've got several. Let's just try. Oh, I forgot. I don't think I've got really any bubbles, but let's see. Forgot to do this part. There's a couple of bubbles. All right. Hopefully it sets and everything. This is kind of dirty. I do want to get this all off of my glass table. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Just put down. I think that this is just from Amazon, I think. Little frame. You really got to be kind of precise with this. And control the flow. Okay. Oop, there's a little bit more. A little bit more. Can you paint resin? So what do you do with it after you've got your piece here? Then what do you do with it? Do you paint it? There's a bubble there that won't pop. There it goes. Okay. There's that one. Got a little bit left. Let's do some of these little gingies. I wonder if I have enough. Let's do the little girl. And it's just going to get all the crud that's in this mold. All right. Okay, we still have more. Let's do a candy. Ooh, I'm about to overflow. So what do you paint them with? Will acrylic paint work, or do you paint them? What do you paint them with? Like chalk paint, or you really got to be precise right here, Kayla. Oops. Little bit left. Oops. All right, let's see if I got enough for this dog. Could have done one of the big ones, I think. Okay. Penny paint, really? That sort of surprises me. Okay. All right, y'all. We've got several different shapes going on here. Our first time doing resin. We'll see what happens. But, so today, all of the ornaments are 15% off. Okay, 15% off today on all ornaments. So that includes the tree ornaments that we use today. All right, so this tree ornament, this one here that we did, and this one here, all of these come in a set, all three sizes. They're $6.99 regular price, and then they're 15% off today. So you can get those for 15% off, as well as all the other ornaments that we have, 15% off. So make sure you check that out today. And if you've got resin and you haven't used it yet, give it a try. It's actually a lot of fun, and it's not difficult. The worst part's just making sure that you don't overflow it or put too much in. But it's pretty easy. So we're going to just let this set up for, I don't know, however many days it takes. And hopefully we've got a cute little ornament when we're done with it. So thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have an amazing day. I love y'all, and I will see you tomorrow. Let's see, tomorrow. What am I doing tomorrow? I'm doing something fun tomorrow. So join me tomorrow because it's going to be a fun one. All right. Love y'all, and I'll see you soon.